Up next, I'll take a look at the HomeKit compatible smart lock, the Aqara U50. So in the previous video, I took a look at the Aqara U100 smart lock, which was a very versatile lock as it gave you many options to unlock your door. It was the lowest price HomeKit compatible smart lock at the time that I made that video. But now in comes its little brother, its baby sibling, the U50, which is very much like that lock, but with an obvious omission. But it also gives you a bit of an addition, and we'll take a look at those two later. But I'm really excited to get this on the door. My U100 is currently still on my front door. It's been a great lock, and I have no doubt the U50 will be just as good a lock as the U100. So let's get started with the unboxing. And this is the Aqara Smart Lock U50. And if you own a U100, you can tell by the hero image what the omission is, and it doesn't have a fingerprint sensor. And I found that I actually use a fingerprint sensor quite a bit, but I don't think I'll miss it because it still has HomeKit, and I usually have my Apple Watch with me, so I'll be able to unlock the door. So as you can see on the bottom, it works with Apple Home. It's HomeKit compatible. That's all I'm worried about. That's the only platform in my home, or that I allow in my home. But it also works with Alexa and Google Home. So if you do want the Matter functionality, since most devices are going Matter, so you can use it with any smart home platform, you will need the Aqara hub, a Matter compatible Aqara hub, and this is the Aqara Hub M3. And this is Matter compatible. It is built on Thread. This actually probably should get its own video, but I'll be using this mainly to get Matter on this smart lock. Let's go ahead and open it up. Aqara, get some literature. You get a template if you have to adjust your mortise or the lock. It's good to have. Just take everything out. I think that's the easiest way. So metal build, this feels really heavy and sturdy. There is some substance to this. You have the keypad, and then if you pull this down, you have the physical key lock here. And this is still great to have. Now for the addition to this lock is the U100, you couldn't rekey it. This one has a standard Schlage bolt, so you can rekey this, this lock here. So if you want it to match all the other keys in your homes, you can rekey that. And I actually have a video that shows you how to rekey your, not only your dumb locks, but your smart locks as well. And it shows you how to remove that little part so that you can go ahead and get in there and rekey it. I'll link that video in the description below and somewhere up here. So that's, I think having the physical key is still a great option. Then you got the wires and everything else. Let's go ahead and set this on its side. They give you 2 batteries, or 4 batteries, 2 sets of 2 packs to give you 4 batteries. This is a thumb turn. This is plastic. I wish this was metal, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't, the one on my U100, being plastic hasn't affected it, but it just feels nicer when it's metal. You got the tool to open up the panels, which you'll need, and also for setup. Let's see in here. They have all the mounting hardware. Everything you'll need to mount it is in here. Yeah, actual deadbolt, plates, everything you'll need to mount and use your smart lock. And in here, probably the keys. The keys or something in here. Yep, there's the keys. Right there, that is the Aqara. And some more hardware. Screws. And the back side of the smart lock, where the thumb turn goes. And there says Aqara U50 smart lock. And this is where you put the batteries. So batteries go in here. You got your reset buttons. Put that back on there. And that's everything included for the U50. Again, pretty straightforward install. I've done quite a few of these, so if I can do it, anyone can do it. And let's go ahead and unbox the Aqara hub. So this is just for if you want Matter compatibility with other smart home platforms. You got your obligatory literature, a USB-A to USB-C cable, mounting hardware screws, some more mounting if you want to mount this on a wall or something. And there is the Aqara Hub M3. So in here there is a RJ45 and a USB-C port there, reset button. So this is compatible with Zigbee, Bluetooth. You can, any attached devices, you can give them a Matter compatibility. In our case, it will be giving us Matter compatibility with the U50 smart lock. So that is the Hub M3. If you want Matter compatibility, you will need a hub like this. So let's go ahead and get this onto the door and set it up and see how everything works. And here we have the Aqara U50 at the front door where it will be installed. And this Aqara U50 will be replacing a Aqara U100. And as you can see, they are pretty much identical form factors. The U50 does away with the fingerprint reader and replaces it with the away mode button. But other than that, they are pretty much identical locks. You can access a key hole right there for both. And at the bottom on both is also USB-C in case your batteries die. You can power the lock with a USB-C charger and get the lock to function correctly. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the U100 and replace it with the U50. So here we have the old lock removed, and I think it's worth repeating once again that if this is your first time installing a smart lock, to make sure that your deadbolt turns freely and locks easily before installing the smart lock. So make any necessary adjustments, then you can start installing the new lock. So first step is done, removal of the old lock. The next step in installing is to install the deadbolt part itself. And if you look at this part, if I can focus, it says top. So you want to make sure that's at the top. So you place it where the old deadbolt was, and Aqara provided a plate. As well as a couple screws. So with the deadbolt part itself installed, next thing we want to install is the keypad. And if you look here, you'll see there is a slot there. And right now it's horizontal. And that's where you want kind of like the tongue, this part here, to go through there. And you also want to feed the wire through the bottom here, this bottom opening. And with that in place, you want to make sure this is level, so make sure you keep an eye on that. So here on the back side of the door, we're going to secure the keypad down using this included bracket. And if we take a close look at this bracket, you can see it says top right there, so you want to make sure that's on top. And we'll secure it down with the 2 included screws. And there are 2 sets of longer screws for this. The length of the screw will depend largely on the thickness of your door. I'm going to double check to make sure that the lock itself is level and straight, which it looks like it is. Then I'll go ahead and lock it down. So now the keypad in the front is secure. That is not moving at all. And now we're going to install the back part of the lock with the thumb turn. So this is the rear side of the lock for the batteries and the thumb turn. And first thing we want to do though is plug in this cord this yellow plug into, it's underneath this flap, into that socket right there. And it only goes in one way, so I don't need to worry about getting it wrong. Push it all the way until it clicks like that. Then you have this tongue here, and that fits right here. So make sure this is in the right orientation. So I have to turn this slightly this way. And now that'll match up perfectly. One thing is there is excess wire here. Push that back into the kind of lock cavity because there's nowhere really for it to live here. So just make sure you push that excess back into there. And these are the two screw holes where we're going to secure this down. Again, with these provided screws, they're these really small ones, so because that's all you need. Again, I don't tighten them down all the way initially, but I'll tighten them down as soon as they're both inserted. Just to make sure everything's even. Let's go ahead and make sure that's level as well. Eyeball it. So make any adjustments. And that looks good to me. Tighten everything down. Oops. And everything seems secure. Let's go ahead and place the batteries, the back plate, and the thumb turn. So luckily, Aqara does include batteries. These are AA's. And one thing about the U100 that I really wasn't too happy about is I found these batteries really difficult to remove on my U100. Hopefully they put a little bit more play in the battery compartments here. And as you can see, the lock is alive. Go ahead and put the thumb turn. Just snaps on.
Please use the app to add Aqara Smart Door Lock.
So with the lock installed, let me go ahead and grab my phone and let's set this up. So here is my phone. Let's go ahead and set this up. And we are already in the Aqara app. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the plus button here to add an accessory. Add accessory. Let's go ahead and choose a lock, which is here, Smart Door Lock. And we're picking the Smart Door U100. So since it's already installed, we're gonna go ahead and click skip. We're gonna go ahead and press the settings button. So set.
Please use the app. To add Aqara, please enter the pairing code.
So now it wants me to enter this pairing code on the keypad. So we'll go ahead and add this pairing code as it appears in the app.
Binding completed.
So it is set up. And as we see, the accessory name is Door Lock U50. It says right now it's in the garage. We're gonna put that in the living room. Choose next. And there is the information for the device card. And this is for the Aqara native app. I'm gonna go ahead and hit done. So right now it says no user added. So to add user, I'm gonna hit a real simple code. Next. And we're gonna confirm that. Next.
Added successfully.
Next. So now it wants to close the door and press start. So this is probably gonna do some calibration. So we're gonna go ahead and close the door and then we're gonna choose start. So in the app, it shows the starting position to be upright. I'm gonna go ahead and mimic that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and choose door closed and hit start. It says all clear, hit next. And please complete the following steps. Unlock the door if it was locked. Close the door and lock it. That is unlocked and the door is closed. and hit next. And then we're going to unlock the door, which it is. Open the door, extend the latch as shown in the photo, as you can see. Extend it there. Close the door until it touches the edge of the door frame. Hit next. So next, close the latch, close the door, lock it, choose next. And calibration is successful. Done. Now it says an associable device is detected associated. I'll go ahead and add it. Let's go ahead and associate it with the smart video doorbell. And now it says it's done. Long press to unlock. And there you go, unlock and long press to lock. And it works in the native app. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install the backplate. And the lock is installed. So one thing we absolutely want to do once it's installed and set up in the native Aqara app, as you can see here, the smart door lock U50, is we want to use this in Apple Home using HomeKit. So then we have to go to here where it says other platforms, choose that. HomeKit, it says not bound. So what we want to do is there is a code underneath here. I put the cover on prematurely, pull it off. And there's the HomeKit code there. So let's go ahead and scan that code by adding an accessory. And it is a lock. Yes, we are going to add it to home and just setting it up. And this is going to go into the living room. Hit continue. And here's the lock name, Aqara Smart Lock. We're going to call this the front door lock. Or just front door. Hit continue. And since I already have HomeKey installed with my other locks, this is just pretty much letting me know that my HomeKey can also unlock this door. And here we can add access codes. And here are automations we can add this lock to. So when last person leaves home, we're going to hit lock. Yes, we do. It looks like I have a duplicate of that. So I'll click both of them. And I had another automation when the front door unlocks, turn on the living room entry light. I'm not going to enable that one. Hit continue. And now it says that the lock is added to my home. So we're going to go ahead and go to Apple Home. Scroll up, look for the living room, which should be near the top. And there it is. You can see the front door lock. It is updating. It is showing as locked. We're going to go ahead and hit that lock to unlock it. Pretty responsive. And let's lock it via Siri. Siri, lock the front door. Let's try that via the phone. Unlock the front door.
The front door is taking a while to respond.
It did that time. Let's see if we lock it. Lock the front door.
Locking the front door.
And there, it can now be controlled via HomeKit and also via Siri. The other thing we might want to do is go ahead and bind this as well to the M3 hub. So now we have it in HomeKit. We could use it under the Apple Home. Alternatively, or as well, you could also bind it to Matter. And to do that, you have to go to Hub. You need to bind it to a hub. Hit Bind Hub. We're going to choose the Hub M3.
Normal link confirmed.
Choose Next.
Please add accessory. Accessory added successfully.
and it is bound. So you get confirmation on the hub and on the door lock itself. It says bound, Zigbee hub bound successfully. Choose done, and it is bound to the hub M3. So now if we actually go into the accessory board or home board in Aqara, you can see that the door lock is shown there, and you can see it's bound to the gateway, which is also now it has access to Wi-Fi and is online, as well as Bluetooth there. So now this lock can also be used under Matter since it is connected to the M3 hub. And just one little tidbit with the new iOS 18, if you go into settings under general, you can see your Matter accessories here, and you see the Aqara M3 hub is listed. So now that it's bound to the hub, it is also Matter compatible. Now with the Aqara U50 installed on the door and locked, you can see it is locked. There are a few different ways you can open up the lock. And a couple are traditional with a regular key. Put the key in the keyhole, you know how it works, or with a keypad. And I'll put in the temporary password I created. And you can see that unlocks the door. Now you can lock it again. So the reason why we do purchase a smart lock is to use the smart way to access the door. So on my iPhone, in my App Wallet, I have my home key. And we can use the home key to unlock the door. Very convenient. Or even easier, if you own an Apple Watch with home key can also unlock the door. Very simple. And that is the Aqara U50 smart lock. And I've had the U50 on my door for at least a couple months, and it behaves very, very similarly to the U100, sans the fingerprint reader. And comparing it with the U100, there are a couple pros and cons. I'll start with the negative. So there were a couple of nitpicky things with the U100 that I wish Aqara would have improved, which they didn't. They're pretty much the same. One of those negatives was the rear battery cover that you have to snap on and snap off every time you change the batteries. And I really worry about the longevity of that cover and the tabs that keep that on there if you continuously snap it off and snap it back on. The other thing is, again, really nitpicky. It's the thumb turn. The thumb turn on both of these is made of plastic. I really do wish they would have upgraded that to metal. It'll give it a more premium feel, like maybe some of the more expensive smart locks on the market, although maybe that was a cost-cutting feature. And now on to the positives of where I felt Aqara really did improve the U50 over the U100. And the first one has to be the ability to rekey the lock. I have since rekeyed the lock using the same process I did in the video that I posted previously, and I cannot overstate the convenience of only having one key to rule them all, and also having one less key on my key ring. The other thing is the latency. I think Aqara improved the latency because on the U100 it would take maybe up to 5 seconds for it to react to my lock or unlock command when using it through the Apple Home app. The U50 responds much quicker, and maybe at the most taking a second or two. And that probably has a lot to do with the Matter over Thread. And again, to get that Matter over Thread, you do need the Aqara M3 hub. I think those are two pluses that really make this lock kind of stand maybe above even the U100. And also with the price difference, you'll be spending between $40 to $60 less for the U50 than you would for the U100. That's probably because obviously the omission of the fingerprint sensor. And as I said, or as I've said in previous videos, I have three things I look for in a smart lock. One is a physical key, because it's nice to still have a physical key in case all the batteries die out. Although both the U100 and U50 have the ability where you can plug in a USB-C, charger or battery pack to power the lock in emergencies. The other thing is a keypad, to be able to have codes that not only you can use, but even guests that maybe you invite over, or if you need to give access to someone, you can set one-time or temporary codes, and that is a convenience that I don't think I could give up. And the third thing that I always look for now is the ability to use, obviously, Apple HomeKit. Because more often than not, I do have my phone or my Apple Watch with me. And to be able to not carry keys at all and just have those two devices on me, charged up and ready to go, and I can unlock my doors with that, that is, again, something that I don't think I could ever give up in another smart lock. So the U50, just like the U100 before, checks off all those boxes that I have for smart locks on my home. And please let me know in the comments below, what are your must-haves for a smart lock that you install on your home? Have you had any previous experience with the U50 or the U100, and how would you compare them? Also, if you found this video useful at all, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and tapping the bell to get notified when I post new videos. And that's going to do it for this one. So until the next one, please take care and be safe out there.